Madam Clerk, and Tom Fortin absent. Okay, this is gonna be audio and videotaped. Call to order.
Oh, I'm motion to call to order. Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we'll start with the correspondence. Community nurses, home care statistics of October, November 2019.
Motion to place on file.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes to file. Okay, we're gonna do some septic plans. 1618 South Main Street, Mark Falls, Cytex. Can you table that, David? We don't have the plans in.
Motion on the table.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, 83 Lake Street, Brad Willis, Welby Engineering Associates, septic repair plan previously approved. We looked at that last time.
My motion to formally approve it. And endorse it. Do we have to endorse it?
Just approve it.
You guys approved it.
Yeah. Looked at it twice, 3 times. Motion to formally approve this.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
This isn't, I'm just getting it.
Oh, okay.
3 Park Avenue, Dina B. Lewis.
Motion to table.
No, we already, I looked at that already. I approved that one the other day.
Okay.
That's all set. That's all set.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Jeez, don't get me confused here.
Sorry.
There's just no vote on it.
Okay.
Looked all right. Kind of scribbly here and there, but it looked all right. It was a little scribbly, right? And I said kind of blurry, so. Well, I didn't have my glasses on, so get excused the guy that drafted it up. 23 Gammons Road, Ryan J. Barrows, S&K Engineering. Septic plan, repair plan, 1 variance requested, 1 groundwater reduction from 4 feet to 3 feet. Is that the plan there, Jim?
Yep, this is it.
I didn't see these plans this week, so.
Okay.
Did you see it, Dave?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, this one was basically a foreclosure, or I'll say this. Somebody had died and they left the house to it, and there was a big kind of court battle that went on for a while. Ultimately, the house had been bought, the system had failed, and it's repaired. It's in pretty nice in the front yard, it's a little high, a little bit of a bump. But it's Gammons Road, so not bad in regards to water table wise.
A lot of water out that place.
Yep.
I guess a lot of water everywhere.
We got some complaints from this house because there was no maintenance going on, there was nobody living in it, so it's actually a huge improvement.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Okay.
Motion to approve the variance.
The two of them?
There was only 1 variance.
Yep.
453 foot. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes for the variance.
Motion to approve the plan.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, 15 Wood Duck Road, Henry Turgeon, Roderick P.E. Okay, this one here's got a few. Septic plan repair, 2 variants requested. Groundwater reduction from 4 feet to 3. 2, reduction 12 inches. Separation between the inlet outlet pipes of the pump chamber and groundwater. Pump chamber shall be booted.
So this was just a failure. The person that lives here, you know, just is having it repaired. It's not, the house wasn't sold. It just was a failure. So This is the correction to that. There's actually pretty good soil over here, the water table's a little high. But all in all, better situation. It was in a funky place there in the middle. In order to make all that work, the engineer felt as though it was better to be over here instead of dig up
So
that
this was the
highway.
old system here,
Yep,
then they just relocated over here.
yep. It was gonna have to be raised anyways, so they were gonna have to cut across the driveway over there and dig out all, they didn't, like you said, the engineer wasn't interested in trying to make it all fit in there anyways.
I like the way they did that other perk went out down the corner here, huh?
Yeah, the engineer tries really hard to hit all the nails on the head. He really does.
It's quite a ways down the hill for the wetlands.
The wetland, yeah, the wetland is over in here. It is definitely over in here, but it's far enough away.
Yeah, you see the pond.
I think this was the more,
The brook maybe over here or something. Is it-
yep, there definitely is. This more or less was over 100 feet for this part here, from what I remember from the plan, the previous plan.
Motion to approve the variances.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes for the variances. Plan,
Motion to approve the plan.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, 10 North Anthony Drive, Designer Homes Properties LLC, and I'm Ewing Engineering. Septic plan player, one variance requested, 11453.
This is a, there's no room
Mm.
on this lot, but right here to put this. Wasn't horrible, wasn't good. Be nice to have sewer over here someday. You want? It's, yeah, it's pretty much the best for the situation. Squeezed right back in there.
You have to build it in pieces.
Yep. Yeah, it's tight back there, there's no doubt about it.
Lousy.
You have to put in this and then back his way out, backfill.
He's gonna work his way out of there.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's lousy. That sucks when you get, that's lousy when you do a job like that.
Sewer's coming.
Huh?
Sewer's coming.
Yeah, right.
That's,
Santa
We
Claus
hope
is
it
coming
is.
too next year.
and I know Dan's working awful hard on it right now, and I think, Dan can do his magic. We might get it, but it's probably about, I did the bare minimum, it
Few
sounds
years.
like it's 3 years.
It's also subject to a very important town meeting
A
vote.
whole lot of stuff, yep, so.
Don't we have people that go out and get grants for the towns and stuff?
It's
Fairhaven
all
gets-
part of it.
Fairhaven gets all kind of grants and everything else, New Bedford, all over. I never see grants in this town. Who's the grant writer? Why aren't they out there doing the job?
We do. We get some.
We don't
It's
have
not as
grant writers in this
advertised.
town?
We do.
Oh, we do.
It's the planning director.
Is he getting any grant for some stuff
Yeah.
like this?
And so does Jim. He gets some too.
Jeez.
We got a fair amount of influence. Motion to approve the downward variance.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion to approve the plan.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Just for the sake of conversation, we
Is
just,
it 21?
21.
Yeah.
We just received a grant that was put out, and I don't know the full extent of the details, but it's basically to get permitting software. So we're in the process of moving into getting,
Yeah, but that don't help out the homeowners getting their sewage in.
It'll help them get their
Piece
permits
of paper.
quicker. Well, this is the grant paying off, there's one. So they'll be able to apply for their permits online, then it'll be tracked through all the different departments and.
Okay, 396 again, Middle Road. Follow-up review matters presented, vote may be taken. Joe?
All right, so we have a court date this Friday for 396. Ultimately, he didn't do what he said he was gonna do. The installer was trying to get started. There was issues that, whatever, it went on for too long, and finally we just filed the complaint in court. Ironically enough, they started installing the system promptly thereafter. So at this moment, I know that they've installed the tanks. I've done the bottom inspection, but that was at the end of last week, so I haven't got any calls on it. I mean, my expectation is that they're gonna move forward. They're basically gonna get it done, and then we'll either go to court on Friday and tell them that they're in compliance, or talk more about what's gonna go on. I mean, it's in court right now, so ultimately, it's in the judge's hands, more or less,
Yeah, once it goes into court, we're out of it.
Yeah, well, I gotta go in there.
He's the guy that's gonna say,
Yep,
give him the third degree.
yep, so.
Maybe.
They are working on compliance, which is basically what we were looking for 2 years, and, now we gotta go to court, so. Hopefully it's done and over with, come Friday or within a short period of time.
Okay.
Motion to keep on the agenda one more time.
One time. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. "19 Downing Street, Title V and sanitary code violation, review of matters presented, votes may be taken."
All right, so we've reached an interesting point on 19 Downing Street. They have gone out of their way, and again, to pat them on the back, gone out of their way to design that sewer, which would essentially bring sewer to every house on Darling Street. They've had.
Every house?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Up to the point of the subject house, right? 'Cause
Well, the
doesn't
subject house is at the top.
It's the last house in Acushnet?
It's almost, but the extension was intended to tie into the next house, which is the only one that's right on
It
the
would
corner.
capture all the homes.
It would
Yeah,
capture
Acushnet,
everything.
yeah, okay.
So what has happened is based on that, they have some other violations there that, we've taken a step back with them, allowing them to work with this. However, they're getting prices that seem to be too high. They're saying $80,000, which was their low number. I am in the process of trying to get another contractor to quote it for them.
How many houses for 80 grand?
I think there's 10, something to that effect. But the houses, the responsibility is on the violator, really, to run it up there, because he needs to put sewer into his house. So there was another person that we talked about, there was another person that was involved to help share some of the expense associated with this. But because it's 80 grand, they don't feel as though it's justifiable. They feel as though that they can put in, again, they don't know what to do. Dan's been kind enough to give the pipe to them for the whole project, but yet at the same time, it's still coming in really high. So, again, they don't want to do it. As a matter of fact, the one gentleman that, not from 19 Darling Street, it's 28 Darling Street, is moving forward. We've done the perk test on his particular property to at least have options. They like this option, but of course they don't want to spend $80,000.
But you're looking at, what, how many houses?
They're not
There's
all
only
paying
2
for it.
people that are paying for it.
Yeah, it's going on the shoulder of the road.
Right, it's going in the shoulder. The other people, you know, they haven't been able to get involved in it, although it's unfortunate because the reality is that they're gonna get charged betterments. If the sewer does ultimately go through up here, they're gonna get charged betterments. And this very likely could turn out to be much cheaper for them. So I guess when you have a two-family, you get charged double. You know, so if you get,
Oh, wait a minute. How far is Darling? When you get to the bottom of Darling from Middle Road?
how far is the sewer?
Yeah. So they're gonna bring it down Darling, then they're gonna bring it into Middle Road.
Right,
So the
so,
manhole is there
That's
now.
all gravity
Yes.
flow.
So they wouldn't get charged with a betterment. Their street would already be sewer. Why would they get charged twice?
they are, if they put this in now
Yeah,
on their own, they wouldn't.
they wouldn't.
They wouldn't. But if we do put sewer, if they don't put this in, my point is if they don't put this in, then they will get charged a betterment coming down the road. And two families get charged
It's
double.
still cheap, Joe.
I certainly think that the prices could be worked out. They're kinda, you know, they don't know which way to turn. They've gone out of their way to try to get people, they went back and forth. People didn't,
And this is all gravity flow?
all gravity. And Dan's allowed them to go down the sideline. So really, the most expensive part of it is the cut across from the north side of Darling Street to the sewer main, to the sewer manhole in Middle Road, which is pretty much right in front of this is a little bit in front of the driveway of the police station. So it's not far.
Yeah.
The most expensive part of that is basically Middle Road, because it has to be, Dan wants that in flowable fill. All right, it's only 6 feet deep though, on top of it all, it's really not that deep. And then the rest of it's about 5 feet up the shoulder.
$100 a year for flow.
Yeah. So, they can't do anything right now anyhow, because it's winter and they can't cut the road. So, we have to make a determination as we move forward. There's some housing code violations there, and I know they pulled permits to get some of that stuff squared away. And the other part of it is the fact that they did convert this into an apartment. It was a dance studio. They did find that the septic system had failed. That's why this went down. They converted it into somewhere around 2010, 2011 into the apartment. They never repaired the septic system.
So the septic is just for the dance studio?
Right, it had its own separate septic
For the house?
for the dance studio, and a separate
Right.
one for the house.
So the main house, does it have a compliant Title V septic?
Don't know that.
That's been there a long time.
The assumption is probably not, because it's a tight piece of property. By the time you split this piece of property up, there's a pit out front now, and that was into the water table. My assumption is there's a pit over there for them too. That's why the conversation was always about, look, you're probably talking about $25,000 a piece for each one of these septic systems. So you have $50,000 to spend. The house across the street, same thing. If we're talking 25, I said, you got $75,000 to spend. You know, I don't see how this is ever gonna be a big deal. They came in at 80, you know, and
Plus the design factor.
I think, I know the design was relatively inexpensive, but I mean, yeah, I mean, they're in at, you know, 85-ish. You know, so,
It's still not much money, Joe.
again, if, you know, if you're looking at it from the standpoint of realistically, at this point, he needs to fix his septic system. I mean, it's failed. So, we've given him a little bit of leeway to see if we can get this to go, but realistically, he was in violation the day that he converted that into an apartment and didn't fix the septic system. So that's been the better part of 9 years. So we gotta look at, do we have him fix the septic system? I'm trying to have another contractor that wasn't aware of this. They've supposedly called all the contractors on the drain layers and only got a very limited amount. I pushed some of the contractors to quote it. I don't know if that forced them to try to quote it high. I do have one more that I'm trying to help them out with, to see if they'll come in at a lower price.
Gotta be careful up on that Dowling Street, there's some ledge up in there.
Well, it's high, so everything's running high. I mean,
But we put curb ins in there years ago, and we ran into some ledge just putting in an 18-inch curb. So you're gonna have to watch that too.
Well, I mean, at that point, I suppose it would be higher, but, again,
Has somebody been living in the dance studio
Yep.
this whole time?
which is a tax issue. We also have a tax issue because it wasn't converted. Again, it was constructed into an apartment without any permits.
How many bedrooms?
I don't know, right, I think it was designed, I think originally it was two, it was designed for two, but I don't know, I haven't been inside. We did request, back before, we did request, or Kelly requested to go in, to do a check on it.
So, I think what you're getting at is, if they can't resolve the money issue for the sewer, then they have to proceed with the septic.
They have to proceed with the septic and they have to clear up all the rest of the issues, because we've taken a step back to allow them to be able to do this, because this would have been very beneficial for the town in general. It would have been beneficial for them also.
Absolutely.
But, you know, we gave them a little breathing room, so to say, in order to get this done, but ultimately, all this.
They gotta be foolish not to wanna kick into this, because it's gonna cost them a fortune to put a septic in there.
They have the septic designed. I mean, realistic, I mean, they have to redo it again, but I mean, they have a new one designed. Alan Ewing designed it back in 2010. So they know exactly how much it would cost. It's a small wall, it's a two-bedroom system, I believe. I haven't looked at it for a little while, but it fit right up in the front where it needed to fit, the way it needed to fit, so.
So they could spend, you're saying upwards of 25 on one system, they don't have to do the other one, because that house is legal.
Right, but,
So why spend more than 25,000? That's really what it comes down to. If you can't get everybody in the road to chip in $5 grand a pop or something, it's not.
Right.
There's no value in it. And the people on the road are like, you have to do it, I don't. Not realizing
But
that
eventually,
if the sewer.
if they go to sell the house too and
Yeah.
that system fails, they're gonna have to put a new one before they get rid of it.
yeah, I don't suspect they're gonna sell, but,
Right, well, a lot of folks have no interest in selling either, you know, so. Unless town meeting, if the town meeting approved the sewer extension all the way to the library, everybody in that entire area is gonna take whatever it costs from the police station to the library, divide it up by all the homes that will be getting benefit from it, are gonna get the whole little piece of the pie.
yeah.
So, on top of going up, darling.
And
So-
the best part is, everything's going uphill.
So this is a better
They can
deal.
run everything
Yeah.
down the middle road.
In, you know, thinking forward, maybe if they all knew that, they would say, wow, it'd be better to chip in 5 now than 15 later.
Right.
But are they putting laterals across the road for those on the opposite side of the shoulder?
No.
Probably not.
All they were doing is putting T's
So
in.
anybody on the other side of the road, you're like, so what kind of benefit am I getting? I gotta rip up the road.
It depends upon how much the betterment is. I mean, if they run sewer, so most of those septic systems aren't new. And, you know, what benefit? Money-wise, you don't know. The unknown part is that it could cost $10,000 for a betterment, it could cost $20,000 for a betterment. You know, if this is agreed
Yeah,
in
yeah.
town meeting, so.
I guess my point is, you know, logically, somebody needs to lay out to, if say there's 7 homes on the opposite side of the street. The contractor actually told them, look, for me to cut into that line at whenever you need it,
Yep.
5 years down the road, 7 years down the road, it will cost you around about X amount, $7,000.
Yep.
Right? If you chip in 3 now, you're getting the whole deal for 10. Just chip in for this guy to get this thing done. If it don't, it's probably gonna cost you 15, you're gonna get shoved down your throat by the town.
And as the years go by,
Because
it's
you don't have
gonna
a
keep
choice
going
once
higher and higher.
the town meeting votes it through, they go through
Right.
and you just get it no matter what.
Right?
We used to do a
Another
tie-in
big
for
tax.
$2,000. Now you can't even look at a guy for a tie-in for $2,000.
So, as I understand
Right,
it,
John?
And now cutting across the road, flowable fill, pavement patch.
Well, those side streets, they don't require flowable fill.
yeah, Dan does.
He wants it now?
Yeah.
So I will say this, I mean, in this time, and it's been a little bit of time, both, you know, as much as I understand, the owner the 19 Downing Street had reached out to different abutters that he knew. He's lived there all his life. And he didn't seem to be having any kind of positive reaction. And I said the same thing as you. I said, you know what, as far as I'm concerned, take anything they'll give you, because it's just gonna help you cut down the expenses, and realistically, it's gonna help them out too.
You wanna know what's gonna happen, they're gonna run a sewer line down there, a couple of people are gonna tie in, and after they see it all tied in, it says, I wanna tie in too now.
Oh, yeah. It's
That's
just,
the way people operate today, I wanna tie in too now, because they figured they were gonna pay a big amount of money. Now, if something happens at their septic and it fails, now they're not gonna pay $5,000 or $10,000 for a pipe coming by the house, they're gonna pay $25,000 to do it in the backyard. I would
So-
hook up right away.
19 Dowling Street, the bottom line is this. Again, they have a failed septic system, technically it's supposed to be repaired. All right, if they don't do anything with the sewer, which at this moment they're pushing back that they can't afford to do it, they're gonna have to install that system. That system is gonna be X amount of dollars, we'll say even $20,000. On top of it all, if in 3 or 4 years sewer is actually brought down that road, they will be, that particular piece of property, because it's a two-family, will be hit with a double betterment,
Yep.
all right? And they will be forced to tie in on top of it all. I mean, as
Now they're
within
just paying
general.
money up.
So now you're spending $20,000.
I will say this, once they put in that brand new system, I, as one board member, will give them a long time before they have to tie in. We did it on the
Yep,
last
you
phase.
did, you did, you
You
absolutely
should be
did.
able, they put in a system, you should be able to get 15 years out of it, you know, without having to pay sewer bills. They
Well-
already paid their sewer bill.
Right, but they're
If
gonna
they can
have,
put it in their backyard,
they're gonna have a betterment on it though.
but they will get a betterment, I understand that. But once you tie in,
Yep.
that's
Then you
several
get your sewer
thousand
bill.
more, and then you get a
Yep,
bill.
Yep, yep,
I
right.
think the town bills people enough.
Yeah,
No,
well, there you
that's
go.
right.
That's just, again,
Spend,
just,
spend, spend.
When I first moved, there was $50 a year for my taxes. Forget it, now it's in the thousands.
Pretty soon, we're gonna have a toll booth just to get into our homes.
You don't get
All
much
right,
help from the
so what are we gonna do? Give them,
so I mean, at this point, like
they're
I
a
said.
winner, so we got,
What?
can't force them to put it in now. You know,
Right, so
you know the
I
weather's gonna change.
I am trying, like I said, to get that one more quote for them, you know, just to see how it plays out. I don't know if, again, and then we'll move forward, I suppose we'll move forward in starting to find out. I know they pulled permits, I know that they've been doing some stuff there, see where we're at from the building department standpoint.
What do they use it for pipe coming down the road, 6 or 8 inch?
6.
6.
I think it was 8 it was 8
In the main,
in middle, yep,
Yeah.
and then 6 up.
6 up.
Yeah.
Then they want you to put 6 coming out of your house into a 6-inch main.
Do we get a copy of that plan?
Yep.
Usually your main coming down the road is 8.
And all the pipe was getting given to them.
They
all
must
the
be
pipe
going,
keys.
they must be going down the sideline of Middle Road and then,
It's more or less down the
Yeah,
sideline, but
and
it's
then kicking
going,
across into the manhole.
no, it's coming from, it's directly from the manhole, more or less down this, because the manhole's in the side of the pavement, in the westerly side.
You're saying they're going to, proposing to extend the main with only an 8-inch?
Yeah, yeah,
Because what they extend is gonna be
it's all,
extended again all
Yeah.
the way to the left.
so it's all gravity, the way that they have it figured out right now, so I mean, that's the best that I know. Sorry, but it's going into a manhole that's in the,
Near the police station.
right, but it's coming from that manhole, and it's going to the north side of Dowling Street into the sidewalk area. And there's gonna be a manhole there.
Mhm.
And then because the road turns, Dan figures that he could just extend that out and get into the middle road to extend it down the rest of the way. You know, that's been looked at by Dan the whole time that we've been doing it, so. And then that manhole that's in the sidewalk area is where the extension's gonna go up.
So when they're coming down the edge of the road, on the sidewalk side, right, they're gonna come down the sidewalk. They're not going down the road, they're going down the sidewalk.
No, middle road is more or
Well,
less
no, I'm
in the
talking about
pavement.
Dowling,
Yeah, it's all in the sidewalk.
okay. Now, when they do their laterals, now they're gonna do a sanitary teeth coming out going to the houses across the street? Is there
So
gonna be
no.
just a cap there?
No, because it's just the private person doing it, Dan again was given all the pipes and all the Ts. So all the Ts will be put in the main for the laterals. All
So
right,
the
but
houses across or whatever is,
to to
Yeah.
either side, so the DPW.
I mean, are they going into the street with
No,
it?
No, this is.
So he's just coming out this way and blanking it? with
The
cap?
intention was to make it as reasonable as Dan could possibly make it to allow for them to extend the main, because it would connect all the houses. So he was trying to, he said, he even said, stay as high as you can in Darling Street, that is reasonable to allow everybody to tie in. That's why it's only 5 feet. So again, that is the best situation, I think. I mean, even me, looking at it from a design standpoint or an install standpoint, this is really the best situation that you could possibly have. It's a high sewer, you got flowable fill in one particular spot, the rest of it's in the ground, and it's high, it's in the sidewalk. There's some driveways there, but they don't require the flowable fill for the sidewalk, for the driveways,
No traffic's running over.
Is that where you get gas?
North side is water, south side is
I think
gas.
there is gas.
There is
there.
gas in that street. An old main. And they're gonna have to take, there's a culvert that runs underneath Dowling Street,
There is.
halfways up. They have an old culvert
Mhm.
from New Bedford,
Yeah, that's where you cross all these things that are in the way.
so we ran into that too.
It's not easy to choose.
We
All right,
ran into a
so
lot of things in this town.
I'll make a motion, we keep it on the agenda to the next meeting, and then just let them know that at that point, we're probably gonna give them a timeline with which
Yeah.
to install
Yep, yep,
the system,
yep.
unless we hear something different.
Unless they wait for the springtime.
Well,
Well,
it's
we-
gonna be a timeline that allows them to
Yeah.
install it in the spring,
Yeah,
because
because right now, it's
next
too much
meeting,
water. They're gonna be pumping.
probably gonna be
and-
here when there's gonna be 10, 12 inches of snow on the ground. So motion to table it to the next meeting.
Okay,
Listen,
Okay,
February's
no.
starting to get warm these days.
We're gonna get, snow, it's gonna melt, snow more, melt, snow more.
Yeah, it starts to snow in April, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, everything's pushing down the
we're gonna
line.
keep this on the agenda though.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Uh,
Okay. 80 Mecca Way, housing code violation review of matters presented, vote may be taken. Joe?
Yeah, this one has been moving along slowly, but if we could just, for the time being,
Where's
just
this Mecca
continue
Way?
this. This is off of Lake Street,
Yeah, it's way in the back.
way in the back. It's almost, what is the road?
Wood Street.
It's
Go
Wood Street.
Take a
but-
left and get down the water.
Yeah. Which is, there's a couple of houses
Yeah.
back there, this is a trailer. But, yeah, for the time being, if we could just continue that, keep it on there. I got a little bit more work to do with them.
Okay.
Motion to keep on the agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Letter to Representative Belodis regarding House Bill 869 review of matters presented, which may be taken. What's that all about, Joe?
All right, so this is something that has been brought to our
How do you
attention.
pronounce his last name?
Spiliotis.
Spiliotis.
Brought to our attention by the Buzzards Bay Coalition. What this is basically they're asking if the board would be interested in signing this letter, which would allow the use of monies that is in the revolving account for the install of septic systems. All right, so it's a state revolving account. And it's basically slated for, that money is slated for failed septic systems.
Don't we have money in there already for that?
Well, we have our own, but there's other money that the state has too that allows that to
gonna-
happen. So all they really wanna do is they wanna make this money available to put in alternative treatment systems, rather than just strictly for approved, Title V systems, if you will. normal systems. This is all that this is.
Okay.
So I'm ready to make a motion to have the chairman sign it. Is that who, or you sign it?
Yeah, we have it set up so that the chairman will sign it.
Okay, motion to endorse the letter. We'll have the chairman endorse the letter.
We've had a few of them put in already, haven't we, Joe?
Yep, it's just staying with what we're doing.
How they making out?
We haven't had any issues. I mean, I've had a couple of the inspection reports sent to me. They seem to be functioning as they should
There's
be.
one down the road here too, right, from Buzzards Bay?
That one's a little different.
That's different?
Yeah, that one's that's a pilot system.
Yeah, it's not really
It's
approved.
not really, they're testing it, but
It's a
apparently
pilot
it's been really good from the last time that I had any interactions with them.
Okay, what do you want me to sign?
We have the letter in there, so.
They're gonna look at it and say, what the heck's that signature all about?
There we go.
Just like a grant.
Yeah. Okay. Budget fiscal year 2025. Look at Joe. 2021, review of matters presented, vote may be taken. Budget hearing is scheduled for January 29th at 7:30 PM.
All right, so a couple of things. This is the budget that I showed you earlier in the year, except for one thing that I changed a bit, which is actually the photocopier supply line. We seem to be going over with that, so we just kicked it up to 600 rather than the 500.
Well, everything today's paperwork, so, you know, you
Yeah,
expect that to go higher.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna end up being a problem, so I figure we might as well just nip it in the bud now. Although, you know, we'll just nip it in the bud. But this is the same exact one that I showed you earlier.
Joe,
for-
nothing's going down, everything's going up, so you expect things to go up, you know?
Yeah, this is the one with the part-time health agent that's in there. For the most part, we really didn't do anything except double the training, just because you know that that's gonna end up having to happen with another agent. And the rest of it is just the requirements by the salary.
The only question I have is, does the Conservation Commission budget reflect the negative 8.9%, or whatever the balance is?
So,
I know you just, all you did was move more time over from one
yeah,
department to the other. Essentially, that's what you're doing, right?
yeah, so
This is
it's a
a percentage.
percentage, this is a percentage of
Mhm.
time that she works here, off of her salary.
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I don't understand why change the numbers. It's like you're getting a check from the town anyway, what does it matter?
Well, it's
This
just-
looks funny, you know, it looks like you're getting a 9% raise. Somebody's gonna be like, wow,
Well,
that's a big increase.
I
Well,
think
it's really
that-
not, because,
No,
well,
yeah.
the Concom budget is down in that same line item, right?
So
Why-
we've been,
why
we've
change
been.
it? I guess
okay,
that's my
got-
question.
All right, so we've
For
been
simplicity
messing,
purposes, what does it matter? You know, why change it?
so we've been messing with this, or I've been messing with this as we go along in order to get it kind of right, because of the time that she's spending here
Okay.
versus the time that she's spending in
So
conservation,
this
so.
more reflects the accuracy.
Yes, so we're just
Okay.
trying to tune that up because it's been a learning curve. I mean,
Right.
really, we started off with a certain amount of time, thinking what it would be, and we had to kind of guess that. And then as we've gone along here, we've gotten
So
into
you
a
match
regular
this, you
routine.
match this upward trend to the downward trend on the other budget.
Yes.
That's what I'm asking.
Exactly.
Okay.
Still the same amount of money that Joanne's making,
Yeah,
period.
okay.
And no matter how it is, it's just different on the budgets, yes. It's
Still
not,
comes out on the paycheck to
Yeah.
something.
it's exactly the
Somebody's
same.
gonna ask a question
Yep,
at the FinCom meeting.
yep.
So, okay, I'm good with the budget. Motion to approve.
Only one thing here on salaries. I was talking to Joe the other day, he's willing to work for half the money that he's working for now. He just lost two more hairs in his head. He looked pretty good. I mean, like you said, the office supplies, I mean, photocopy supplies, everything goes up, Joe. You know, what are they gonna do, bust your butt about a few $100 more? That's chicken feed.
This budget is
This budget's,
pretty lean compared to what other things happen in town.
we don't waste
Want to be
money. This,
realistic, so.
you know, this-
Amen.
Stick with
I've been
it.
here for a long time, Joe.
Finance committee meeting with us should last 1 minute.
You know, longer than all these guys,
Other
people in
budgets
this
in town
office.
are, you know, whatever, so.
And-
Motion to approve the budget.
We've always had a low budget. We never wasted money for nothing.
I wish the town could say that.
No, we don't waste no money in this
I wish
department.
the town would do that because I am so sick and tired of my taxes going up every year.
It's not.
Large
It's a lot.
numbers.
Watch when you get sewer and water up in your place.
I'm just fed up with it, and I just feel like the leadership is lacking in some respects because they don't give a crap whether the taxes keep going up.
Money easy come,
And
easy
people don't know
go.
why, 'cause they don't wanna tell you.
There's gotta be a stop somewhere, Dave.
I know, there is no way to sell it. They want you all to move out of town if you can't afford it. They'll get new people to move in, that's like the mentality.
You know how many people are moving out because of the tax rates? and
I
all?
can imagine, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy, but this looks okay, I have no problem with it.
So I made a motion to approve the budget.
All in favor?
Like,
Motion passes.
And just be aware that we've scheduled the 29th, so January 29th at 7:30.
January 27:30.
Yep, it's, Board
Remind me,
of Health
Joanne?
and Soil Board.
Somebody
back to
remind me.
back.
Sure. And you got soil board too, that night.
I got a lot of things in my brain. Not much of my
Remind me
brain.
again, January 29th is,
So it's our review with the Finance Committee of our budget.
okay,
It's early.
okay.
It's
Yeah.
early.
I'll be out of town, just so you know.
Wednesday.
It's next Wednesday, yeah. I'll be around.
Okay, any minutes to approve here? All in here?
We can only approve the October 29th minutes. You were absent on the 26th of November, so.
No, my fault.
Motion to approve the October 29th minutes.
I was here.
Yep.
Motion in a few minutes. Can I look at it?
Absolutely.
That's just the same
Can I ask you a question? Why is this South Main Street taking so long to get paperwork in here?
So, as the story goes, they actually did.
This is going way back then.
Yep.
Mm.
They
To
got,
October, now it's
Yeah, we're
January.
been pretty lenient about it, so.
I know,
yeah, so they did, they got it in here, and there was some concerns that we sent back on them. And I can honestly tell you at this particular point in time, that the owner of the property has consistently called every week with updates, and is incredibly apologetic and puts it back on to the engineer at this point. And
have you spoke with the engineer?
I have not spoke directly with the engineer,
I'll
no.
find out what the scoop is.
Right, but supposedly at this point, it was supposed, he guaranteed, the owner guaranteed me that it was gonna be in here for this particular meeting, and just,
Guy's a pretty straight guy,
Call,
so
call,
I'm just wondering if
call.
it's the engineer or him.
Well,
I made a motion, the motion is accepted.
okay, that's fine.
I just wanted to question it because
yeah.
it came up tonight and it's on
Yeah,
this
it's on the
minutes
agenda.
here.
Yep.
You're,
And I'm just wondering why
that's,
these plans are not coming in to take care of this project. This has been going on for a
I'll
while.
make, regarding that matter, I'll make a motion that Joe put a call into the engineering company and emphasize that we want the plan in for the next meeting.
yep. Yeah,
I mean, you know,
That it's-
you give him enough break.
Yeah.
You know, it's just been going on for a few years.
Yeah, I'd like to see it in for the next meeting so that he can start planning,
Get things on the roll here.
get with a contractor for the fall,
Yeah.
I mean,
He is-
spring and summer. you know?
Again, I mean, what, I don't really believe that I'm being
Can't
lied
say
to,
no.
but It could be, the honesty is he
No,
wants to do it.
I buy it, I take it at face value, I don't, it's just, doesn't matter, don't need to debate it. I mean, motion is for you to follow up and emphasize, we're getting a little anxious.
Yep.
It's been a long time. And if we, we'll deal with it if we don't get it, but it won't be good if we don't get it.
Right.
Okay. So that's my motion.
Yeah, I have no problem with that motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Next meeting date?
You guys tell me.
Short calendars.
Tell me this one.
So it would be the 18th or the 25th.
February 25th it is.
This is signed.
Motion to adjourn?
Do you want me to sign this one here too? Or I already signed one for that for that house bill?
No, it's okay.
All set?
Yeah, that's what we say.
Oh, you guys, the budget.
So let me see. This is all the
I'll take that, Joe. You guys figure out the date
Yes.
for the next meeting?
Yes, sir.
Did you adjourn?
Not yet.
Not
Made
yet?
the motion.
Where is it?
February 25th.
6?
25th.
25th?
February 25th, 6 PM.
Okay, motion to accept that. And then you get talking over with Tom, see if he can make it.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, you all set, David?
Yep.
Is this something we gotta look at?
Nope.
Okay, motion to adjourn?
Yeah. I made that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned at 8:55.
6:55.
6:55.
6:55. Hey, these glasses, I can't see far away.